Let's go ahead and talk about how to get started in data science. I think that when starting out in data science, it's better to develop a practical intuition for the field before getting bogged down by technicalities. These technicalities, don't worry, we'll revisit them later. For now, I want to start with the most important thing. We need to make sure we have a shared language for discussing the machine learning workflow. So let's start off by defining a few key terms. A model is a set of patterns learned from data. Algorithm is a specific ML process used to train a model. Training data is the data set from which the algorithm learns the model. Test data is a new data set for reliably evaluating model performance. Features are the variables or columns in the dataset used to train the model. The target variable is a specific variable you're trying to predict. And finally, observations are the data points or rows in the dataset. With this terminology in mind, we can now walk through a typical machine learning workflow. First, we obtain a training dataset and split it into features and a target variable. Next, we choose an algorithm for training our model. Once we've trained our model, we evaluate its performance on a test dataset. If our model performs well, we can put it into production, meaning that we use it to make predictions on new data. But if our model doesn't perform well, we go back and either get more data or try a different algorithm. Now let's take a step back and look at each of these steps in more detail. First, what do we mean by training and test data? When we start out, we have one big data set, but we split it into two subsets, training data and test data. Why do we do this? It's because we want to be able to evaluate our model's performance as objectively as possible. And the only way we can do this is by holding out a portion of our data to serve as a benchmark or a gold standard for evaluating our model's performance. The split is usually done randomly, and the most common split is 70-30, meaning that 70% of the data is used for training and 30% is held out for testing. Next, we need to choose an algorithm for training our model. There are hundreds of algorithms to choose from, but we won't get bogged down by all the details. For now, just know that each algorithm has its own pros and cons, and choosing the right one can be tricky. After training our model, we evaluate its performance on the test dataset. If our model performs well, we can move on to the next step. But if it doesn't perform well, we go back and either get more data or try a different algorithm. And we continue this process until we have a model that we're happy with. Once we have a model that meets our standards, we can put it into production. This means that we use it to make predictions on new data. For example, if our model is trained on data about customers who bought a product in the past, we can use it to predict which customers are likely to buy the product in the future. That was a lot to take in, but hopefully it gave you a good overview of the machine learning workflow. In the next few videos, we'll dive into each of these steps in more detail. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, if you're interested in taking your data science skills to the next level, check out the links in the description below. With that said, keep hustling, and I'll see you in the next one.